There is a particular silence that follows an engine's last note, a silence that is not peaceful, but pregnant with absence. It is the silence of a question mark hanging in the sky. On a cold December morning in 2003, that silence descended over the pine forests of East Texas. It swallowed a plane and 3 remarkable women whole, leaving behind only a chilling mystery and a single unbearable clue. For years, their fate was one of aviation's most agonizing puzzles, a vanishing that defied logic, a search that yielded nothing, and a discovery that only deepened the darkness. This is the story of the Flying Grandmothers, a journey that began in sunshine and ended in a place called the Devil's Triangle of Texas. Welcome to the Old Unseen Stories. We are the keepers of forgotten tales, the dust gatherers on history's hidden shelves. In every vanished footprint, in every unanswered echo, there lies a narrative waiting to be heard again. If you are drawn to the shadows where the past whispers its secrets, if you seek the truth behind the headlines that faded away, then you are in the right place. Please consider subscribing to the channel. Hit that notification bell. By joining us, you become part of a community dedicated to pulling back the curtain on history's most enigmatic chapters. Together, we will continue to unveil more old, unseen stories out there. Now, let us turn the page back to the winter of 1993. To call them merely pilots feels insufficient. They were ambassadors of the sky. Margaret or Marge Laforet, age 68, Ruth Elizabeth or Liz O'Brien, 73, and Jean or Jeannie Butler, 77. They were the Flight Mistresses, a title bestowed by the 99s, the international organization of women pilots, founded by Amelia Earhart. Their mission was one of passion and education, to travel to schools, to scout troops, to air shows, and inspire the next generation, especially young girls, to look up and dream of the clouds. Marge, the de facto leader, was fierce and capable, a former grade school teacher who commanded respect. Liz, the former executive, was the meticulous planner, the organizer, and Jeannie, a great-grandmother with a twinkle in her eye, was the heart of the trio, proving that adventure has no age limit. Their aircraft was a white and blue 1972 Beechcraft Bonanza V-35, a reliable bird with a distinctive tail they affectionately called the Baby. On December 6, 2003, their logbook was open for a new entry, a short 90-minute hop from San Antonio's Stinson Municipal Airport to the piney woods of East Texas to the town of Georgetown. A pancake breakfast with fellow aviation enthusiasts awaited. A simple flight, a routine Saturday. The sky was clear, the forecast manageable. They filed their flight plan. At 10:05 a.m., they taxied, took off, and turned north-northeast. Contact with air traffic control was routine, cheerful even. And then, just after 11 a.m., as they approached the vast, unbroken canopy of the Angelina National Forest, radio contact ceased. Not with a mayday, not with a crackle of distress, just silence. To be silent is not always to be empty, and when you subscribe to the channel, you are not simply clicking a button. You are adding your voice to a chorus of curiosity and ensuring that these lost tales continue to find their audience. Hit that notification bell and be the first to encounter the next mystery we bring to light. Now, let us return to the shadows unfolding over the East Texas forest. When the Baby failed to appear in Georgetown, the first twinges of worry began. By nightfall, it was full-blown dread. The Civil Air Patrol, or CAP, launched what would become one of the largest and most intensive search and rescue missions in Texas history. For 9 days, over 100 aircraft crisscrossed the skies. Volunteers on foot and horseback beat through thick, thorny underbrush.
The search grid expanded to cover 24,000 square miles, an area larger than the state of West Virginia. They were looking for a white plane, for survivors, for a signal from an emergency locator transmitter, or ELT. But the forest gave up nothing. It was as if the Angelina National Forest had opened a seam in the earth and sealed it shut. The lack of an ELT signal was the first major clue and the first deep mystery. Had the crash been so catastrophic it destroyed the beacon, or had it never activated at all? Theories began to swirl. Pilot disorientation? Possible, but Marge was immensely experienced. Mechanical failure? The Bonanza had just passed its annual inspection. Fuel starvation? Their flight plan showed more than enough. And then there was the location itself. The search area lay within a region pilots and locals had whispered about for decades, the Texas Devil's Triangle, an area stretching loosely from Dallas to Houston to the Louisiana border, blamed for an inordinate number of missing aircraft, strange electromagnetic disturbances, and bizarre vanishings. Was it just folklore, a convenient scapegoat for tragedy? Or was there something to the tales of compasses spinning and radios dying over those ancient woods? As the active search scaled down, a crushing, quiet agony set in for the families. Christmas passed, then New Year's. The vast, silent woods held its secret. The 3 flight mistresses had joined the ranks of the truly vanished. 5 months. The forest turned from the bleak gray of winter to the vibrant, drowning green of a Texas spring. And it was on May 4th, 2004, that a hunter, traversing a remote, swampy section of the Angelina National Forest, an area that had been searched, but whose spring growth changed everything, saw a flash of color that didn't belong. It was a seat cushion, then scattered debris, not of the plane, but of a life. A purse, a credit card bearing a name, Margaret Laforet, and then the hunter made a discovery that would forever haunt this story. Partially submerged in the murky water was a human skull. The Harris County medical examiner confirmed it through dental records. It was Marge. The discovery location was over 30 miles east of their last known position and filed flight path. It made no sense. How did the plane get so far off course without a single radio call? The search refocused, now a recovery mission. Teams of law enforcement, FBI agents, and Texas EquiSearch waded through chest-deep, snake-infested water, probing the muck with poles. They found more personal effects, a suitcase, a shoe, a segment of the plane's cabin, but no significant wreckage, no engine, no wings, and, most agonizingly, no other remains. For Liz and Jeannie, there was no closure. The forest had returned a fragment, a terrible cryptic clue, and nothing more. This single discovery birthed a torrent of theories, each darker than the last. The 30-mile deviation was the key. Theory 1, the lost and hypoxia theory. Could Marge, perhaps suffering from carbon monoxide or hypoxia, oxygen deprivation, have become disoriented, turned the plane east, and flown silently until fuel exhaustion sent them down? It's a standard explanation, but experienced pilots are trained for this, and the lack of any radio transmission is a gaping hole. Theory 2, the criminal act theory. Was there a struggle in the cockpit? Could someone have forced them off course? The FBI found no evidence of this, but the absence of evidence is not evidence of absence in a swamp that consumes all. Theory 3, the Devil's Triangle. This theory refuses to die. Proponents point to the strange electromagnetic anomalies reported in the area, which could explain the silent radios and failed ELT. They speak of the forest's unnatural ability to hide wreckage, as if it absorbs them. Could some bizarre, localized atmospheric phenomenon have caused a catastrophic, silent failure? A memorial at Stinson Airport bears their names and a simple, powerful epitaph. they passed on to future generations their joy of flying. Their legacy is alive in every young girl who looks at a plane and sees a future, not a boundary. But the mystery of their final journey is their other, more somber legacy. The official finding by the National Transportation Safety Board, or NTSB, was cause undetermined, a phrase that is both a professional admission and a profound echo of that initial silence. How does a plane with 3 capable pilots in decent weather vanish without a trace for 5 months, only to offer a single baffling piece of evidence so far off course? Where is the rest of the wreckage? Where are Liz and Jeannie? The Angelina National Forest keeps its secrets well. It holds the answers, suspended in time, locked in the rusting fragments that may still lie beneath its dark waters, waiting for another hunter